Hey everyone, it's Austin Solomon, the Solomon Group at Coldwell Banker, coming to you guys with a new episode of the Wausau Real Estate Show. Today we're talking about getting started in investment real estate, where to begin, and some tips, some pros and cons of getting invested. So if you're thinking about starting and investing in real estate, you might consider starting with a single family home. One of the biggest tips that I can give someone who's aspiring to invest in real estate is just to get started. That's the hardest part. There's a lot of times where I meet with an investor and they have this ideal property or ideal situation that they're looking for, and it's their very first time that they're going to start investing, and it takes such a long time for them just to get the first deal started that they might have been better off just getting started with something small, building that confidence, which is going to lead to a lot of other opportunities. So one of the nice things about starting with a single family home, again, so you purchase a single family home as a rental property, you rent it out. One of the nice things with just starting with one unit is that you tend to be able to get invested for a relatively low cost. So, for example, if a bank requires 20 to 25% down for an investment property, and let's say that you want to just start with a smaller home that's $60,000 to $100,000 for a price point, then you're looking at putting somewhere between $15,000 to $25,000 down to get started with your investment. Some of the pros of investing in a single family home and why it's good to start there is you attract a little bit of a better tenant for a single family property versus, say, a duplex, triplex, quadplex, etc. In general, you tend to attract a little bit better tenant. By better tenant, that means potentially less problems. Someone who maintains the property, there's less turnover, less calls and hassles that are involved. So that's one of the biggest pros in a single family. Another thing is the appreciation that you see with single family homes. There's more of it, and it happens quicker, especially over these last few years. If you would have bought a single family home at $60,000 3 years ago, it might be worth $990 now. But if you bought a duplex for $60,000 3 years ago, maybe it's only worth $75,000. So that appreciation has really gone up quite a bit for those single family homes, and in general, because of the demand for single family homes, you tend to have greater appreciation. Another pro of single family homes is if you get into investing in one and it doesn't work out, you're tired of being a landlord, there's lots of issues, it tends to be easy to liquidate that sale because of the demand for single family homes versus some of the alternatives might be a little bit more tricky to sell and liquidate. Now, some of the cons to a single family home is that you only have one unit, and so if that tenant leaves, you don't have any more income. So that's where it's really important to keep those units occupied and keep those vacancies down with a single family. Another con is that relative to some of the other investments, duplex, triplex, etc., a single family, you may not have as high of returns. Let me throw out a quick example. Let's say that you purchase an $80,000 house and it rents for $850 a month, right? So your gross rents are $850 a month on an $80,000 purchase price. You might be able to purchase a duplex for $80,000, and now you have two units each that rent out at $500 a month, so your gross rents are $1,000 per month. This is a pretty realistic example. So with a duplex, you have higher gross rents, right? And so as a single family, that's one of the cons, is you may not have as high of returns. So number one tip in all of this, though, is just to get started, right? I'm making a plea and a case for just to get started, and that's why I think single-family homes may be a good opportunity, and starting small and building that confidence is a great play for a lot of people. You don't have to always come in, I know a lot of times people want to come in and make this, super investment that's going to lead to financial freedom. And realistically, a lot of times it's best just to start small. It doesn't have to be a super deal, just something that gets you that experience and that confidence that you can build to make other real estate investments down the line. So thanks for tuning into this week's episode of The Real. If you guys have any questions, would love to answer those for you. Feel free to reach out to my cell phone direct, 715-212-4693, 715-212-4693.